Hello, my friends. Welcome to Luna English Podcast. This is Luna. Today, I've been thinking about something that so many of us quietly live with: anxiety. It's one of those invisible experiences that can change the way we see life, how we feel about ourselves, and how we face the world. Sometimes, anxiety feels sharp and strong, like a wave that takes over your body. Other times, it's softer, like a quiet tension that never really leaves. You might feel it as tight shoulders, a fast heartbeat, or thoughts that keep looping in your mind, even when you're tired. I want to talk about anxiety in a gentle way, not as something to fight or fear, but as something to understand. Because when you begin to see what anxiety really is, you can start to build a new relationship with it. You can learn to calm your body, to question your thoughts, and to return to the present moment. Over the next few parts, we'll explore how to recognize anxiety, how to care for yourself during difficult moments, and how to slowly create peace within. Let's begin this calm conversation, step by step, together. What is anxiety really? Anxiety is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a natural human response, your body's way of saying, "I'm not sure I'm safe right now." Long ago, this feeling helped us survive real danger. But in today's world, the same alarm goes off for problems that aren't physical, like work stress, social pressure, or worries about the future. Anxiety often begins in your thoughts, but it quickly moves into your body. You might notice your heart beating faster, your muscles tightening, or your breath becoming short. These signals are part of your body's way of preparing you to face a challenge. But when this system stays on for too long, it becomes exhausting. You might feel restless, distracted, or afraid for reasons you can't explain. Understanding anxiety means recognizing that your mind is trying to protect you, even when there's no danger. It's not your enemy, it's a messenger. When you begin to listen to that message calmly, you can respond with awareness instead of panic. You can learn to guide your body back to balance and remind yourself, "I'm safe right now." How does anxiety speak through your body? It often begins quietly, almost in whispers. Maybe your stomach feels tight before an important meeting. Maybe your shoulders feel heavy when you think about the future. Sometimes, you might not even notice the signals until your body feels tense all the time. Your body is not working against you, it's trying to tell you something. The problem is that most of us don't listen until the tension becomes too loud to ignore. Learning to listen to your body is an act of care. When you feel anxiety rising, take a moment to notice where you feel it: your chest, your throat, your stomach. Instead of pushing the feeling away, breathe into that space gently. Tell yourself, "It's okay, I feel this, and I can breathe through it." The more you practice, the more connected you become to your physical signals. Over time, you'll notice anxiety earlier and know what helps you calm down. Maybe a walk, some stretching, or quiet breathing. Listening to your body is the first step in building peace from the inside out. Why is awareness so important in overcoming anxiety? Because awareness turns confusion into understanding. When you're anxious, your mind often runs fast, jumping from one worry to another, painting scary pictures of what might happen. You start believing every thought as if it were the truth. But when you become aware of what's happening, you create space between you and your thoughts. You begin to notice them instead of becoming them. You might say to yourself, "I'm feeling anxious right now," instead of "I'm falling apart." That small shift changes everything. Awareness helps you respond with clarity instead of reaction. It allows you to see that a thought is just a thought, not a fact. You can observe it, breathe, and let it pass. Building awareness takes patience, but it's one of the most powerful tools you can develop. The more you practice it, the more you begin to trust your ability to handle difficult moments. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Nothing new appears, but suddenly you can see what's already there. How can mindfulness help calm anxiety? Mindfulness is the practice of returning to the present, to this breath, this sound, this moment. Anxiety often lives in the future. It fills your mind with what-ifs and worst-case stories. Mindfulness brings you back to what's real right now. When you practice mindfulness, you train your brain to stay grounded. You can start by paying attention to small, simple things. The feeling of your feet touching the floor, the rhythm of your breath, the sound of the wind, or the warmth of your tea. These are anchors that pull you away from endless thinking and back into the world around you. Every time you return to the present, you tell your mind, "I'm safe here." Over time, mindfulness rewires your response to anxiety. The waves of fear may still come, but you'll know they will also pass. You'll learn to meet them with calm observation instead of panic. The more you practice being here, the less you'll get lost in the future that doesn't exist yet. Why does breathing matter so much when you feel anxious? Because your breath connects your mind and your body. When you're anxious, your breathing becomes short and fast, sending your brain the message that something is wrong. But when you breathe slowly and deeply, you send the opposite message, that you're safe. You can use your breath like a tool to calm the storm inside you. Try this simple practice. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 1. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 counts. Feel your shoulders drop, your heartbeat slow, your body soften. The rhythm of your breath reminds your nervous system that it can rest. You can do this anywhere, while standing in line, sitting at your desk, or lying in bed at night. You don't need to control everything in your life to feel calm. Sometimes, all you need is to return to your breath, again and again, until your body remembers how peace feels. Can you change the way you think about anxiety? Yes, and it starts by reframing your thoughts. Anxiety often grows from believing every negative idea that appears in your mind. You might think, "I can't handle this," or "something bad will happen." These thoughts feel real, but they're often just habits of fear. When you notice an anxious thought, pause and ask yourself, "Is this thought helping me?" Or "Is this actually true?" Often, the answer will be no. Then you can replace it with something more balanced, like, "This is uncomfortable, but I can get through it." Reframing isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about seeing your situation more clearly. You might not be able to stop anxious thoughts from showing up, but you can stop believing every one of them. Each time you question your fears, you take a small step toward freedom. Over time, your mind learns that calm thinking is just as powerful as anxious thinking and far more peaceful to live with. Can movement help reduce anxiety? Absolutely. Your body stores stress, and when you move, you help release it. Exercise doesn't have to mean pushing yourself too hard or going to the gym every day. Even a simple walk outside, a bit of stretching, or gentle yoga can help your mind settle. When you move, your body releases chemicals that lift your mood and bring balance back to your nervous system. You also shift your focus from overthinking to feeling, from endless mental noise to the rhythm of your steps or the movement of your arms. Physical activity reminds you that you're alive, strong, and capable. It reconnects you to your body in a healthy way, rather than viewing it as a place of tension. Movement becomes a kind of meditation, a way to breathe, release, and return to yourself. Over time, regular movement helps your body feel lighter, your thoughts clearer, and your anxiety softer. What role do daily habits play in managing anxiety? They play a bigger role than you might think. Your body and mind are connected, and when your basic needs aren't cared for, anxiety grows stronger. Try to give your body what it needs: good food, enough water, and enough sleep. Create routines that make you feel safe and balanced. A calm morning routine or a quiet evening before bed. Spend a few minutes each day doing something that relaxes you, like reading, writing, or sitting outside. These habits are not small. They're messages to your body that you care, that you're stable, that you're okay. When your daily life has gentle structure, your mind feels safer inside it. Over time, these little choices build strength and calm from the ground up. Why is rest so essential for overcoming anxiety? Because your mind can't find peace when your body is always tired. Rest is not laziness, it's healing. Anxiety often tells you to keep going, to stay busy, to never stop. But calm grows in stillness. When you rest, your nervous system resets, your heart rate slows, and your mind begins to quiet down. Rest can mean sleep, but it can also mean small pauses during your day. Sitting quietly, breathing deeply, taking a short break. It's a way of saying to yourself, I don't have to be in control all the time. The more you practice rest, the more your body learns that peace is possible. Over time, rest becomes not just something you do, but something you allow. A kind, gentle space inside yourself where anxiety has no power. How does connection help with anxiety? When you share your thoughts and feelings with someone you trust, you remind yourself that you're not alone. Anxiety grows in silence, but connection weakens it. Talking to a friend, a family member, or even a counselor can lighten the weight you carry. You don't always need solutions. Sometimes, just being heard is enough to breathe again. Human connection reminds you that your experiences are valid, that others have felt the same, and that help exists. When you isolate yourself, your thoughts become louder and scarier. But when you connect, those thoughts begin to soften. You start to feel safe again, not because everything is perfect, but because you're no longer carrying it alone. Why do boundaries matter so much for anxiety? Because without them, your energy gets scattered and your mind becomes overwhelmed. You might feel pressure to say yes to everyone, to check your phone all the time, or to always be available. But this constant noise can keep your nervous system on edge. Setting clear boundaries is not selfish. It's necessary. It's how you protect your peace. Try setting limits with your time and attention. Turn off notifications when you need quiet. Say no when something doesn't feel right. Create space in your day where you can simply rest and breathe. Boundaries are like soft walls that keep your inner world safe and calm. When you respect your limits, your anxiety begins to settle because your mind finally feels protected. Can too much technology increase anxiety? Yes, it often does. Constant screens, news, and notifications fill your mind with noise. You see too many opinions, too many comparisons, too much information. Your brain never gets to rest. Creating digital balance is a form of self-care. Try to have moments each day without your phone. Maybe when you wake up, during meals, or before sleep. Step outside and look at the sky instead of the screen. Allow silence to return to your day. You'll notice how your mind feels lighter, your thoughts clearer, your body calmer. Technology is a wonderful tool, but peace comes from quiet spaces, from giving your mind a chance to breathe. Balance brings you back to yourself. Why is self-forgiveness so important in healing anxiety? Because many people blame themselves for feeling anxious. They think they should be stronger, calmer, or more in control. But anxiety is not a weakness. It's a sign that you've been carrying too much for too long. Forgiving yourself means letting go of judgment and speaking kindly to yourself instead. When you notice an anxious thought, don't say, "What's wrong with me?" Say, "I'm doing my best." You can't heal while being at war with yourself. Self-forgiveness turns pressure into compassion. It allows you to breathe again, to rest again, to start again. The more kindness you show yourself, the less space anxiety has to grow. Healing begins not when everything is fixed, but when you stop fighting who you are and begin caring for yourself as you are. Can you live peacefully even when anxiety sometimes returns? Yes, you can. The goal is not to erase anxiety, but to live with it gently. Life will always bring change, pressure, and moments of fear. But when you understand your mind, your body, and your habits, anxiety becomes something you can hold with calm awareness. You learn to say, "This is just a feeling, it will pass." Over time, peace becomes your natural state, not because everything is easy, but because you know how to return to calm. You trust yourself, you care for yourself, you live with more softness, patience, and hope. Remember, peace is not the absence of storms, it's learning how to stay still in the middle of them. You are stronger than your anxiety. You always have been. And with awareness, care, and love, you'll find your way back to peace again and again.